Well, things have been tough recently. I think this crew deserves to have some shore leave. Luckily, we just happen to have a very fancy apartment just sitting there unused on the Citadel, just calling out to us, waiting for us to go and have a wonderful time. Man, I've been looking forward to this because I've been told for so long that this is the best DLC, and it's going to be so much fun. And I mean, I assume what we're going to do is we're probably going to like hang around in the apartment, like talking and stuff like that, you know, character development, and go out to the bar, do some dancing, maybe have a date with Caden. Oh god, it's gonna be good. It's probably gonna be a lot of drunks. Oh, that's good stuff too. Oh, why did I leave orbit? No, we're leaving. All right, that's it. Short leave is canceled. No, hit dock. Come on. Oh, personal apartment. I take the taxi ride. Look at this. He was living in style.
I've got Admiral Anderson on the QEC. Patching him through to you now.
Shepard.
Admiral, how are you holding up?
Day by day, Commander.
Yeah. Hackett sent me a message about this apartment.
I want you to have it. Take it off my hands.
Are you serious?
You need a place that's yours. Somewhere to recharge, clear your head. Kaylee wanted us to settle down there. Thing is, the longer I'm on Earth, the less I want to leave.
Man, this place is cavernous. Look at it.
And I want as few loose ends out there as possible. Like I said, you'd be doing me a favor.
Oh, I can accept it. Oh, thank you. Shepard does deserve to have a place that's all his own. Who are these people in the background up there? They're just kind of floating. Anyway, thank you.
That's very generous.
It's practical. We need you in the best shape possible. Rested. Focused.
If you say so. Thank you.
And make yourself at home, damn it. It's yours now.
Yeah, Shepard hasn't had a break in so
Sure, I
long.
can manage.
It's been going for
Okay,
years.
Good. Been meaning to do that for a while.
Be careful out there, Anderson.
You too, Shepard.
Like he was going and going, and then he died, and then he was brought back, and he kept going and going, and then he was put into forced retirement, so he did have like a little bit of a break, and then he was going. Also, I hope that the video or audio didn't cut there. For some reason, the I don't know, lately Windows has been like, wait, let me talk just a second. Windows has been doing this thing where it just keeps like forcing the focus off of whatever like window I'm on, like shortly after I open it, but then it stops doing that. I don't know what it is, but the sound quit for a second and I was like, shit, did the game crash? But no, it was just unfocusing. So there might be a bit of weird editing back there, if nothing else. Notes for Anderson biography relationships. I'll wait to answer the message. I want to look around.
You never asked me about this, but my wife just called. My ex-wife. Nobody likes to talk about the toll that long months apart can have on military relationships. She wasn't military. She couldn't handle it. But it's not even about military and non-military, damn it. It's space flight. Space flight. Finding the mass relays, miracles of engineering. Human imagination rising to meet our desires. We pay a price for that curiosity, that drive. Our relationships suffer. People we love suffer. But that's reality, and it's worth the cost. I must have thought it was. I guess I still do. In the end, you just have to hope you made the right choices.
Man, I understand that because I was only in the Navy for 4 years, but, you know, the ship would go out to sea for like 6 to 9 months sometimes. And I mean, you'd go into like a port for a couple days once every month or two, but beyond that, you're basically just out to sea and you weren't going back home, like to your home port. And there's one time when I started dating this guy and I really liked him, like maybe a couple months before we had this surprise deployment. And I you know, I got back and he had found someone else, which I didn't blame him because I was gone like, I think it was like nearly 9 months. So after that amount of time, it is completely understandable that someone would move on with their life rather than wait. But it is kind of sad because I think back, like, what could have happened? How could that have gone?
The Normandy? A brand new ship. My ship. You don't forget that moment. The first time you're standing there. The whole crew looking to you for direction. Unforgettable. I'd led men and women before that. Seen a lot of combat already. Always managed to find my way home in one piece. Do that a few times, you begin to think you know better than the next guy. Maybe you do, I don't know. But if you're lucky, really lucky, you find yourself on a good ship, in front of a good crew. A crew you can trust with your life. Gifted. Disciplined. Brave. All of them. Eager to set sail into the endless black ocean. I still remember my XO asking what my orders were. Shepard, I said, let's see what we can find.
Okay, I need to answer that email because it is... it's gonna beep and annoy me so much. That's the stereo. Where is it? Alright. Okay, yes, I'm coming. Jesus. Oh, it's somewhere else. Yes. Oh my god. Fine, I'm here. Dinner at sushi place on me. Hey Shepard, I've got a few things I wanted to go over with you. With the Normandy in dry dock, I figured we could meet up at that Ryusei sushi place down in the wards. I hear it's the best. Alright, sure, yeah. Sushi date with Joker. I didn't want to check it before because I was like, checking that's gonna like force me into the next scene. But it just gave me a new like point on my mission thing, my mission log. Oh, look at the fancy bathroom. It's got one of those mirrors that like has all the data and stuff in it. Like, oh, what do you call those things? Is that? Oh, it's the stereo. All right, what else do we have in here? Shepard, what are you listening to? I also want to be able to hear whatever logs I come across, so we'll wait on that. The big giant TV and oh, what's that over there? He's got his own bar. Note for Anderson biography N7.
Embarrassing moments? I've got more of those than anyone will ever know. Only way to learn something. But if I had to pick one to share, I had just gotten promoted to N7. Full of myself, king of the castle. Found myself buying drinks for undesirables in some rundown bar in the wards. They toasted my recent promotion. Hell, they would have toasted Batarian slavers if it had got them more drinks. About the time my money ran out, my new friends turned on me. I was outnumbered. Things didn't look good. My plan to get out of there involved lots of punching. Well, that worked for a while. Then a table hit me. Or I fell down. When I came to, I saw a Solarian putting the rest of the troublemakers down. A Solarian? Moved like a damn cat, I swear. When everybody was out cold. Or running. He walked over and helped me up. N7, he asked. Yes, sir, I replied. He looked over my collection of unconscious friends, nodding. Not bad, human, he said. And he walked away. I had met my first Spectre. Learned an important lesson that day. No matter how good you think you are, there's always somebody quicker, faster, and a hell of a lot smarter than you just around the corner. That little lesson's kept me alive more than once since then.
These are really interesting little journal entries, but did Anderson just come through here knowing he was going to give this place to Shepard and just leave iPads with his memoirs on them? Like, he's going to go in the bar and he's going to find this one about my, like, stories and stuff. Okay, I read that one over there. Oh, there's one. Note for Anderson biography, Shepard. Oh, he left one about Shepard for Shepard to find.
Sure, I can talk about Commander Shepard. Big topic. There's been a lot written about the Commander, but most of it isn't true. People are quick to judge. They don't know the whole story. I don't even know the whole story. But I know the man. Worked with him. Fought with him. Trust him with my life. Shepard's had some rough patches. Who of us hasn't? He's been forced to fight a lot of battles alone. God only knows how he got out of some of that. Makes your head spin. Thing is, you never heard a complaint. Never once got, no sir, I can't do that. He never hesitated. Few people know what Shepard's been through. I'd like to think I come pretty close. And I worry sometimes he forgets. There's a whole bunch of people who lose sleep over him getting back home.
Aww.
Maybe it doesn't need to be said. Maybe we're too dumb to say it. Soldiers like the Commander are rare. Men like Shepard, even more rare.
Did you just leave this note here for Shepard to find just so you could tell him how much you love him without directly saying you love him? Because, aw, Anderson. Also, you left all your confidential paperwork out. Oh. Look at the low poly pots and pans. It's the stereo. It's got a little a little model here. What is that light fixture? And the water feature? Man, this place is extravagant. Oh, what's that? Oh, for ANN.
A few months ago, I had a chance to sit down
Al
with
Jelani.
one of Earth's most decorated
Ooh,
soldiers,
Al Jelani.
Admiral David Anderson. He was kind enough to answer my questions and talk about his career. Today, the Admiral is on Earth, leading the defense of our home against the Reapers. We have no communication with him or any soldiers on Earth, but we can't forget what they're doing for us. Tonight's show is dedicated to all of the soldiers out there, fighting and dying to keep us safe. Admiral Anderson, today marks the 30th anniversary of the N7 program. Can you describe your first day of training in this now famous program?
The Interplanetary Combatives Training Program is all business from day one.
How so?
We're given basic gear, then separated and stranded on an asteroid with no nav data. The test ends when the last person runs out of oxygen.
Sounds daunting. What happens to the ones who run out of air first?
Out of the program. The best N7s can survive alone, but work together to survive even longer.
That's very impressive, Admiral. Deep space survival training. That has to be so difficult. All of it would take such strength of character. Well, just plain strength. But then you seem like a strong person.
I'm sorry. Is there a question in there?
Well, does the program make the man? Or do you think you were born for this?
It's a bit of both, I suppose. Every soldier reaches a point in their career, sometimes more than once, when they are asked to give more than they ever thought they could. That moment is the test. I've seen men and women, almost sure to fail, persevere long past the point of breaking. That experience changes them. Others, with all the gifts and abilities, fail in that moment. Sometimes they pick themselves up and carry on. Sometimes they're just done.
What about you? What was your moment?
I've had a few, none of which I'd like to share. But, I think the toughest tests are still ahead of me.
What makes you say that?
Call it a hunch.
Soldier's intuition?
Something like that.
Also, it's
Do
the
you
Reapers.
trust your intuition? I mean, do you follow your heart over your mind?
Well, it depends on the day. No, I suppose if I were to be honest, I do trust my instincts. The problem is, war isn't orderly. And the enemy is never predictable. Even the most experienced veteran is going to find themselves in situations they haven't trained for. In those instances, and there's more than I'd like to admit, your instincts are the only thing keeping you alive. That, and the men and women you're fighting beside.
But soldiers are only as good as their leader, isn't that true?
Yeah. A good leader can make an okay squad great. A bad leader, well, war tends to make examples of them.
What makes a good leader, then?
A good leader is someone who values the life of his men over the success of the mission, but understands that sometimes the cost of failing a mission is higher than the cost of losing those men.
That's a terrible line to have to walk.
Yes, it is. But war is a terrible thing.
Thank you for your time, Admiral.
Thank you.
The remainder of this interview was to take a more personal look at Admiral Anderson's life. It wasn't finished when the Reapers invaded. We can only hope that the Admiral and the soldiers under his command survive to tell us the rest of their stories. I'm Khaleesa Al-Jilani. Thank you for watching.
Okay, yeah, I was gonna say, she did say that they weren't in contact with him, but then they had an interview. Maybe I missed the part where she said that it was pre-recorded, but okay, that makes more sense that they had been recording it before then. But also, she's real nice to him. She's giving him all the softballs whenever she talks to Shepard. She is just going for the jugular.
What was I talking about? Early days, right? People ask why I joined the military. Everyone talks about honor, duty, sure. But that's never the whole truth. It's 100 little things that add up to commitment. I joined because of a dog. Yeah, a dog. This patchy, mean son of a bitch that used to bark at me every day on my way to school. He'd snarl and I'd start running. Scared the hell out of me. I was just a kid. I remember being in a bad mood one morning. Angry, I can't recall why. When that dog started in on me, I snapped. Started barking right back. We both kept at it until we had nothing left. Dog never bothered me again. Why'd I join the military? Sometimes you just gotta howl to make things right.
Interesting story for why he would join the military. Yeah, everybody always does expect it to be like honor and all that kind of stuff, or you doing it for your country. But I mean, I did it because I wanted the money for school, and I got the money for school. So, you know, poor kid growing up in a rural area and needed to find some way to get out and make his life better, and there it was. What's the catalog? Oh, there it went. I clicked it, but nothing happened. Oh, you can customize it. What? Standard. No, I've got the standard. It's fine. How big is this DLC going to be? Am I going to come across all these, like, different things to put into my house? I'm going to have to, like, go to shops and buy different things. White couch with light brown accents, a consistent cellar. Oh, so those are two different ones. It's not either or. Tables. All of these are going to be standard, right? There's nothing else there. Wall decorations. Yeah. I mean, the place does look very nice right now. It is a little bit just like, well, this is very fancy. I don't know about the lighting fixtures. Also, I'm not a fan of the like industrial kind of look to a ceiling, or if you'd even call that industrial. I guess it's just unfinished. It's just rough cement. Because in the school I used to teach at, we had they called it industrial ceiling, but it was just like exposed pipes and wires and nonsense. And I was like, they just didn't want to finish it, so they just painted everything black and left it. Called it industrial.
No, it's fine. I got a few minutes. First contact war? Yeah, I was there. My first real combat. First for a lot of us. I remember one night early in the war. Strapped to my seat as our transport approached the LZ. Everyone was dead silent. Just the sound of breathing. Good men. I trained with all of them. We were always joking and horsing around, but not this time. Just the rattle of the shuttle. And that heavy breathing. Everyone was thinking the same thing. We're off to fight alien invaders. Aliens. Think about that. We all grew up wondering what was out there. If we were alone in the universe. Now we knew. We weren't alone. And we were in trouble. So there we were. About to face an enemy as different and unknown as we could imagine. I knew I had to say something, keep the men relaxed. So I turned to the soldier beside me, Hendricks, I think, and asked him how his mother was doing. Fine, he said. Why? Because I heard your mama so ugly the Marines thought she was a Turian. Almost shot her. I got a few smiles. Then Hendricks turned to me and said, "Hell, Anderson, I heard it was a picture of your mama that started this goddamn war in the first place. Scared the Turians shitless." Everyone had a good laugh at that. And the boys fought great that night. Sometimes that's all it takes. A joke, a pat on the back. Just a little reminder that everything's gonna be okay.
I love Keith David's voice. It's just perfect in so many different situations and characters, because he does have like a very wide range of characters he tends to play. Like here he is, Anderson, and then he was in Final Space. He was the Titan Bolo, and then he's been the president in like all kinds of different things. Like what was he in? He was in what was that? Saints Row. He was in. I could just list a whole bunch of things off. He's been in so much, but either way, I think his voice is great. That kind of deep sound to it and everything. And then he's a good actor too. Oh, that's the stereo. We've got the art here. What is this supposed to be? I mean, I don't know about your choices of art, Anderson, but what is this room supposed to be? Just another seating room.
Okay. So, Tombstone data. Admiral David Edward Anderson. Not sure why anybody would be interested, but thanks for asking. I was born in London, June 8th, 2137. The last of 3 children born to Ursula and Paul Anderson. A nurse and a flight mechanic, respectively. But that's a little dry. And someone's gonna spice this up, right? Never been much for the spotlight. Anyway, where was I? It was a second marriage for my parents. They were almost 50 by the time they had me. My mother worked shifts, so my father would often take me to the base. While he worked, I watched transport ships and fighters take off. Worked his whole life around space travel, my father. But he never left Earth. Not for a day. He was a good man. But that's just a side note. Don't put that in. Who is it, Kaylee? Yes, I need to take that. I hope this is what you're after. I'll get to the more interesting N7 stuff next time.
I love how much detail they put into these characters. Like, there'd be no reason really to tell us all of these details about Anderson's backstory, but it's just so interesting to listen to. The Turian experience.
The Turians? Well, I might not always see eye to eye with the politics and the individual, but I have a great respect for the Turian military. Any Alliance soldier lucky enough to take part in their training programs will certainly be better for it. Their precision, skill, and discipline come together in a way that's second to none. Not that I'm faulting our own people or training. It's just that after fighting Turians in the First Contact War, years later, I had the opportunity to observe and train on Palaven. It was a turning point for me. And I would encourage any soldier to try it. It's a unique experience to put yourself in the squad of a Turian commander. My commander was an uncompromising bastard named Bartix Oryx. If you can find him, just ask how the platoon I commanded was trounced in his strategy game. Humbly. But I've used what I learned that day many times. The xenophobes will have their say. But I think it's vital that we do more of this kind of cross-species training. There you go. And if you do find General Oryx, let me know. I owe him money.
This is the stairway back down, yeah. Normandy.
You asked me to talk about the SSV Normandy. The Normandy SR-1. As commander of the Tokyo, I was consulted on the Normandy's design and on board for her initial training exercises. The average person probably doesn't know that the Normandy was a joint project with the Taurians. Acting CO, Eli Xander, was no diplomat. She ran out of patience with Taurian posturing and politicking during construction. The chief architect of the Drive Corps, Octavio Tatum, and his team of Taurian engineers were in the CIC for final training exercises. Tempers flared when Xander pushed the limits of the stealth system, waiting to vent the IES well past what Tatum was comfortable with. I tried to calm the situation, but it still ended with the Taurian scientist in shackles and a human-Taurian fistfight at Korra's den later. Funny now, when I first laid eyes on the Normandy, she was the most beautiful thing I'd ever seen. Day after that training run, Admiral Wright found me on the bridge. She's yours, he said. Can't trust her to Xander. Send me a list of crew from the Tokyo you'd like, and prep for your first mission. Short command thanks to Sarah. Still, one of the highlights of a long career.
So all of the, that was the Normandy SR-1. I was going to say the SR-1 is like the ship's code number, but I guess, or not code number, what is it called? I can't even think of it. Like, the ship I was on was a DDG-59, but I was going to say if it was the SR-1, that would be the first of its type, but then all of them are named after, like, cities and places and stuff, like Normandy and Tokyo, but I guess Normandy isn't a city, it's a coastline, right? So, well, oh well. I'm just overthinking things again. Look at that fancy bathroom. Oh, you can't take a shower. Was there another section? I think I went in here already, didn't I? Oh, no, I didn't. Oh, this is Shep's room, isn't it? The other one must be a guest room. Oh my god, he's got a hot tub. No shower, just a hot tub. Man, look at the size of this bathroom. It's bigger than some apartments I've lived in. So many pillows. What are these chairs for? For watching? Yeah, this must be like a guest room or something. Also, oh, there is a door in here. Okay. So now I just need to go and have a sushi dinner with Joker, right? Yeah, meet him there. Well, I guess that means just go right out the front door. Man, this place is really great. They should give you this earlier in the game, and I mean, not like... I could have gone and gotten it, but like it would then push forward the Citadel DLC storyline, which needs to be done at the end. So I wish that we could have gotten this earlier, and Shepard could have had a place that's his own, and you could customize it throughout the game with whatever kind of crap you get. Like just reminded me of finding that couch for that person on Omega. Oh, look at all this. Casa fabrication, Armax. It's all just weapon stuff. Is this just a whole district that's full of like generals and admirals and people like that who would actually want to see these kinds of advertisements? I don't imagine like regular people would be interested in like armor advertisements. What's that? The what towers? I assume that's Tiberius Towers?